Welcome back to Horror Recaps. Today, I will be showing you a horror/thriller film from 2019 titled The Wretched. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. It's pouring with thunder. A doll, crayons, and many other toys are scattered all over, soaking in the rain. Megan, the Gamble's babysitter, runs inside and knocks on the Gamble's door. When no one answers, she enters the house. Suddenly, she hears the sound of the telephone disconnecting. She talks to her mother on the phone when she hears a loud thud and hangs up the call saying she has to go. She then goes into the basement looking for Joanne, the girl she is supposed to babysit. On the stairs, she finds a doll. When she reaches the basement, she sees photo frames shattered into pieces. She hears noises coming from inside. To a sudden surprise, she sees a violent, frightening woman sitting on a chair devouring the little girl whom she was supposed to look after. The woman screams with blood all over her mouth and Megan runs for the door. She sees Mr. Gamble standing above the basement stairs and he closes the door with a loud thud. Megan is then killed by the woman in the basement. A strange triangular symbol is shown scratched on the door. Some years later, Ben dreams of him drowning when he suddenly wakes up inside a moving bus. He gets off the bus and goes to his dad, Liam's house. The next morning they drive to the marina. Ben is starting his new job there. He meets his coworker named Mallory. They chat for a while when Ben receives a call from his mother. She asks him about him and his dad. Just then, Ben sees his dad kissing a girl. Surprised, he hangs up the call with his mom. In the meantime, Liam's neighbor Abby and her son Dylan are walking in the woods. They seem to be lost. Soon, Dylan gets separated from his mom and his mom starts looking for him. He hears his mother's voice calling from a tree trunk sweetly before growing more aggressive. Suddenly, Abby finds and grabs him and the tree disappears. They get back to their house. Abby hits a buck with her car while returning and brings it back home in the truck. Later, Abby tells her husband, Ty, about butchering the buck herself. He is doubtful of the idea but Abby insists. She then starts skinning the animal but she cuts through it spilling all the guts to the ground. That night, Ben is playing guitar when he sees Abby and Ty making out through their window. They are interrupted by their baby, Sam crying. The dead buck is in the truck. All of a sudden, a creature crawls out of the buck's stomach. After a while, Ben hears someone walking on the roof above him. He goes out with a flashlight to inspect. He looks around and hears noises. He then sees the fencing to the cellar of their neighbor broken with a large hole in it. He looks back and sees the strange creature from earlier. A flash suddenly falls in his eye blinding him. It is his dad asking him what he's doing outside at night. Ben tells his dad about the creature, describing it as an animal, and walks back inside. The next day, Abby finds the flowers in their yard dead. As she leaves, we see the other flowers around her die as well. Meanwhile, Ben meets Dylan at the marina and befriends him. Ben gets a call from his mom when he is in the store and Mallory invites him to a party. He refuses at first but agrees after his mom asks him about his plan tonight. He then leaves for the party with Mallory and her friends. At the party, Ben drinks a lot. Mallory signs Ben's cast as they talk. Ben almost hooks up with her, but he gets drunk and throws up before he can kiss her. Sam cries in the middle of the night and wakes up Abby but he stops crying after a while. When Abby falls asleep, a creature crawls into Sam's crib. Meanwhile, Ben meets Gage and other friends at the party. He gets pranked by them and leaves for home while he's still drunk. Abby wakes up again as Dylan comes to the room saying he can't sleep. Abby looks at the crib camera and doesn't see Sam. She rushes to check on him. She looks inside the crib but only finds a bundle of twigs under the blanket. Sam is missing. She hears crunching sounds and sees a viscous liquid flowing on the ground. All of a sudden, a strange hand grabs Abby's leg, and it pulls her under the crib. Abby then gets out from under the crib and is possessed. Ben sees her walking to the woods. At the house, Ben tells Liam he was at a party. Liam is there with his girlfriend Sarah. Ben disrespects her for not being his real mother. He says sorry to Liam but refuses to apologize to Sarah. Feeling disrespected, Sarah leaves. The next day, Dylan is watching cartoons while eating breakfast when Abby comes back. She has now become strange. Ben is working in the marina when everybody mocks him for the prank the other day. He throws garbage in Gage's parents' yacht. Meanwhile, as Abby takes a bath, Dylan searches for her and calls her multiple times. He then sees Abby naked and her bones start cracking as she turns towards him. Feeling uncomfortable in front of her son, she immediately rushes to the room and shuts the door. Dylan is scared. Liam works late that night. So, Ben asks Sarah for a ride home. Ben apologizes to Sarah on their way. When he gets home, he hears some weird noises from above. He grabs a golf stick and slowly walks up. He opens the door and to his surprise, he sees Dylan hiding there. He is frightened of Abby. She then comes looking for him, but Ben asks him to stay there in the room. Abby asks Ben if he has seen Dylan. She tells Ben to bring Dylan down, but Ben denies Dylan being there. Abby tries to go in, but Ben asks her to leave. Abby threatens to break his other arm. Ty calls Abby and asks her what she was doing there. As she tells him she was looking for their son, Dylan comes down running to his dad and asks him to go home. The next morning, Ben wakes up late for work and realizes he was supposed to give Dylan a sailing lesson, but Mallory says he never showed up. Ben goes to his house and Ty answers the door. Ben asks Ty about his son, but surprisingly, he refuses to have any kids and shuts the door on him. Ben sees an upside marked on their porch under the mat. He looks up for that symbol on the internet and finds information about a witch that is known for possessing people and taking children. He also finds images of the triangular symbol carved in trees. Later, Mallory visits Ben. He tells her about Abby and Ty. Ben is surprised about Ty not remembering his own kid. He suspects something is wrong. Soon Mallory leaves, and as she is leaving, she leaves a note inside Abby's front door writing she knows about what's in their cellar. Ty gets the note and tries checking the cellar, but he is stopped by Abby. She then whispers something in his ear in a strange language. Immediately, his ears start bleeding. That night, Mallory stays late at the marina. She locks the marina and leaves on her bike. A photo from the picture board goes missing. Meanwhile, Ben looks through the trash of Abby's house and finds a photo of Dylan in a shattered glass frame. Suddenly, Ty walks out of the house, but Ben hides. The next day, Ty is mowing his lawn. Abby takes a bath and sees her skin and body are starting to rot. She has scars all over her body. She also picks out her teeth and throws them. A little later, Ty sees Ben marking around his house with salt. Abby walks up to him, but Ben runs and closes the door. She slides the note that Mallory sent under the door. Ben is super suspicious and goes into Abby's cellar by breaking the lock. He climbs down the stairs and finds a weird skull figure with a family photo where Ty is crossed off. Ben immediately calls 911 and reports a missing kid. As he is reporting Dylan missing, he sees another photo with Mallory and her sister Lily where Lily's face is crossed off. Ben tries warning her about Lily immediately, but Mallory tells him that she doesn't know Lily. Ben reaches the park and sees Lily going to the woods with Abby. As he rushes towards Lily, Gage starts beating him up for trashing his parents' boat. Ben escapes Gage and runs to the forest. Ben hears Lily screaming. He sees her being pulled into a hole. He tries pulling her out but fails, and he falls unconscious after falling into a rock. He wakes up at night and gets home when he sees Ty looking at him from his house. Next, he sees his dad and Sarah with the police. Liam asks Ben about him breaking into their neighbor's home. Ben tells Liam about Dylan disappearing, but Liam dismisses him. As Sarah talks with Ben, he sees flowers nearby dying. He realizes that Sarah is also possessed by the witch. Sarah attacks Ben, but he slashes her hand with a knife. Ben is taken by the police when he sees Sarah whispering into a police officer's ear. Ben then tells his dad to look in the cellar. Soon, Liam heads to the police station when he is called by Mallory asking about Ben. The police officer escorting Ben to the station drives off course and tries drowning him to death. A dog stops the police officer, but he shoots the dog. He points the gun towards Ben but shoots himself at the end. Liam remembers Ben telling him to check the cellar at Abby's house. So, he goes inside the cellar with a lantern but finds nothing there. He then goes inside Ty and Abby's house and finds both of them dead. He also sees a shrine made by the witch with candles lighting. He sees the photo with Ty marked off. He also sees a photo of his family with him and Ben marked off. Suddenly, Sarah attacks him and stabs him in the back. She is wearing a strange mask. He hides from Sarah as the house burns in flames from the broken lantern. Sarah follows him and he attacks her, but she grabs him by the neck and tries to suffocate him to death. All of a sudden, Ben arrives there and shoots Sarah. She falls to the ground and the witch starts crawling out of her stomach. Ben takes his dad to his car. He sees the house burning and suddenly, this causes Ben to remember that he has a little brother, Nathan, since the witch made him forget Nathan too. He goes into a memory flashback. Somebody cries for help. Ben goes inside the house to find Nathan. Mallory arrives asking him about her sister. They grab salt and gasoline. Nathan cries from inside the hole under the tree in the woods. Ben explains to Mallory about kids disappearing into the hole. He enters the hole asking Mallory to make a circle and burn it if he doesn't get back in 10 minutes. Ben looks inside the hole with a flashlight. He hears squealing sounds. He then enters a tunnel through the roots. Mallory creates a circle from salt around the tree. Ben crawls when he finds his brother Nathan asleep in a corner. He sees a witch feeding Dylan. He is attacked by the witch, but he shoots her and he brings Nathan out of the hole. He again rushes inside the hole to find Lily when he sees the corpses of many children. He locates Lily and tries freeing her from the roots. The witch rises again. She pulls him and attacks him. Lily flashes a camera to the witch's eye, distracting her, and they escape the hole. As Ben is coming out, the witch grabs onto his legs. Mallory throws salt into the witch's eye, which burns her skin, and Liam gets there in a car and saves them all. They burn the tree. Not long after, Ben is getting ready to go home with Nathan and their mother. Ben talks to Mallory about him leaving. They hug and kiss goodbye, and she puts a flower in his hair before she goes to give some kids a sailing lesson. They are dropping Liam off at his brother's place so that he can heal. As Ben gets in the car, he notices the flower is fake. It then becomes clear that the witch is alive and is now possessing Mallory, who is left alone with 3 children in a boat in the sea. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.